Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I use the power of AI to write genuine, authentic letters of recommendation for people who I already know. This is the approach I would take. Right now I have Microsoft Word open and I have a Stream Deck with a button that's mapped up here to the dictate button. You can get that by clicking Alt-tilde, and that'll turn on and off voice dictation. And then a couple other buttons on my Stream Deck include Control-Z for undo, return for a new line, and backspace to delete. If we open ZimmWriter, this is where we can set our general settings, and in my options menu, you'll see that I have my Scrape Owl API key set. And this is so it can go out and scrape websites. This is how we will be getting the training data on who we're writing the letter about, if it's not ourselves. You'll notice I have some other boxes ticked and unticked, and I'm on the GPT 3.5 Turbo model. If you want to learn more about all these interfaces, I highly encourage you to check out the official ZimmWriter YouTube channel and training. After closing that options menu, I'll minimize the main window for ZimmWriter, and we'll be back over here in Microsoft Word. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the voice dictate button as I explain the next steps. Our goal today is to write a letter of recommendation for our friend Jennifer, who is applying for the International League of Conservation Photographers Emerging League program. So I need to fix a couple of minor capitalizations from the voice dictation. I also need to add in a parenthesized acronym. There we are. And then at the end, I'll throw in a period, even though I could speak it. This is our goal today. Our goal is to write a letter of recommendation for our friend Jennifer, who's applying for the ILCP Emerging League program. Now, Emerging League program is also capitalized, and this is actually really important because it's referenced in that letter of support. So, maybe a couple more voice notes about her to dictate. I've known Jennifer for some years now, and she continues to impress me with her storytelling and conservation causes. Okay, we'll just park that there. I'm going to hit this a few times. Now that we have our mission mapped, our next step is to get some background data. I need to learn more formally about Jennifer, even though I've known her for years, because it is a technical application. It would be useful to also know what the parameters for the program she's applying for are, even though I've been through that program before. So let's go ahead and write out some steps so we don't get lost. I'm just going to write out steps for success, and I'll have my voice dictate at the ready. Gather background data on applicant. Scrape their about page website. Inject information from official documents like CV. Enrich with personal stories and real-world examples of her effort. Gather background data on program applicant is applying for. Visit the program page online, scrape the page, summarize in word processor using cross-pollination. Combine the data from steps 1 and 2 to create a white paper case study strategy report on each data cluster. Use the background data on the applicant to craft a compelling draft, refine and shine to make it your own, add in personal anecdotes and real-world outcomes that she has achieved. All right, so it's worth noting I want to systemize this, so I'm just going to take this and we're going to say letters of recommendation process template. I'm going to paste that in. I'm also going to preface the context, and now that's good. We'll have that on backup. So the first step is going to be to gather background data on the applicant. Her website is experiencewildlife.com. For applicant 1, I have 2 letters to write today. There we go. Photography conservation. So you'll see it'll load in some basics here, and we want to make sure we go far now. So we have Jennifer's CV here, and a lot of different stuff. I mean, gosh, I can't even, we met way down here. I can't cover it all, but I can remember what we talked about. I can reference the notes that she gave me for how she'd like me to show my support and go from there. So the first step will be to have the CV page open. And then maybe I'll control-click and open up the Our Story page as well. That'll give us a bit more background so we can really build out the case and have a strong letter support. This is kind of where I'm thinking. This is going to be our pillar, so I'll come back over to Word. Now to get the scraping to work correctly, I'm going to type summarize and the equal sign right after, and then paste that link. Make sure you delete that extra space. I'll select all and then do a Control-1, and you'll notice it says scraping URL this time. A little different. It's because it detected that URL, and because we put the summarize magic command, it's going to run through a little bit of everything we just saw on that our story page and take that wiki style bio and create a summary. That'll be step 1A, the first scrape. Now you notice it's about 80% done. It's been about 20 seconds, and there we have it. All right, here we go. Name, Jennifer Leigh Warner. Specialization, wildlife, landscape, and conservation. Location, Central Texas. I might say delete the blank lines, and then I'll just come in here and do another Control-1 like that. Should do that super quick, maybe not too quick. So it depends on what you want to do. I don't use this for everything, but there, you'll notice it tightened everything up. I could have just as easily started here and gone backspace, up arrow, backspace, up, 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 there's one, backspace, so up, 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 down, back, up again, up again, up again, up again, up again, there. So it's give or take about the same amount of time, depending, but I didn't have to go back and fix it. You saw I messed up a couple times, stuff like that. So it's just easier to just use the magic command. So here is everything tightened up. And now I'm going to take the next set of data and use that to kind of enrich the next step. So we're going to come down here, going to hit enter a couple times, get a new section. Now we're on step 2, which is to gather background data on the program that the applicant's applying for. So we've already done the applicant. That was step 1. Now we're doing the program that the applicant's applying for. So the program that the applicant's applying for is the International League of Conservation Photographers. We get there by, you can go to Google and you would type in International League of Conservation Photographers. You could also go to conservationphotographers.org. So Google, here's the top result, and click in. You'll notice we're on the correct website, conservationphotographers.org, and we have the secure lock there. We will go to About Us, become a member. All right, here we go. This is the first page. Now this is for both programs. You'll notice that there is the Emerging League program, and then you come down a little further and you'll notice there's the Associate program. Today, she is applying for the Emerging League program, and I don't need any of this extraneous information. With other tools I've used, I would be concerned about it scraping the correct information, but if I told Scrape Owl to scrape this URL and only give me a summary of the Emerging League member, then it would probably do a pretty good job with just this chunk. This is kind of what I'll go off of because that PDF is too arduous. It's a little extraneous for what we need. And this is just a tutorial, so we don't need that. So I will take the join LCP URL. I'll come back over to Microsoft Word. And the next step is going to be, instead of summarize, I'm going to say write a summary of only the Emerging League member program in the ILCP at this link, and then I'll say equal and paste the link right after. Fixing the 8, select all in one, it should scrape and go. If it does this correctly, it should go to this page that we were just at and only look at the Emerging League member and not the Associate Fellow information. Should only take about 30 seconds to just hang tight. All right, there we go. The Emerging League Member Program, ELP, is designed to support early career photographers. What happens if we look at the entire summary, which we can do, it's in the clipboard right now, just hit Control-V. And in addition to that, write a summary of only the ELP, it will give us kind of a full page summary. And this is what it gave us from that. So we have Associate Fellow, Emerging League Fellow, Application Process, ELP stuff is right here, and Associate Fellow stuff is right here. And then the definition of a professional conservation photographer filmmaker means they get their main source of income. That's the big one for this application from fur-telling devote significant energy towards positive conservation efforts. Okay, so we have at this point 800 words. We have 4 pages of information, minus the instructions, and this goal to write a letter of support. So now I guess my thought would be I'm going to delete anything that doesn't have to do with ELP, which is that, and then I don't need that, don't need this, don't need this. We'll take the application process details. We don't need this, and we don't need this. Okay, so there we go. Excellent, good, we don't need this. Cool, I think we're good. So that's all those ELP details, ELP overview, we don't need this, and then we have her details, her overview. Now we can cross-pollinate, we're on step 3. So we're going to now start mixing our data. I'm going to take everything that we've done so far, and we're just going to come in a fresh document and paste it, and we're currently sitting at 464 words. So I'm just going to give it a really simple command. First, I'm going to search for .coms because we don't want any of these to mess anything up. So I'm going to just, via her email to apply, let's search for any other .coms. Okay, we're good. So that shouldn't mess anything up for the overarching goal now. And I say that because if there were .coms in my prior test since the scraper release for ZimmWriter, I've noticed it kind of hangs up if there's a .com mixed in. So I do a Command F, search for that .com, and just swap them out with something else. Let's combine and cross-pollinate. We have our applicant data on the left. We have our program information on the right. We will now give it a prompt to do that. Combine and refine the applicant data with the program details to create a clear, concise, and compelling letter of support for Jennifer. Make sure you follow all of the program requirements in expressing how and why she is a good fit. All right, we're going to select all, and then I'm going to say Control-1, and now it's going to process this request. It's 511 words and 2 pages, and it should give us a basically a new page with that letter of support. Remember, this is GPT 3.5 Turbo, so it should be fairly quick, and again, this is a polishing process. This is not the final result. All right, here we go. So, dear ILCP Selections Committee, I'm going to take this portion here, and we're going to open another fresh document, paste it in, and we're off to the races. Let's see what we've got. Dear ILCP Selection Committee, I'm writing to express my strong support for Jennifer Leigh Warner's application to the Emerging League program. Jennifer is a talented and experienced professional photographer with a specialization in wildlife, landscape, and conservation photography. She has a degree in communications and photography from Washington State University. So let's just fact check that. So if I come over here, I should be able to do a Control-F and say Washington, and there it is. Degree in communications and photography. Degree in communications and photography. Excellent. And is a certified Texas Master Naturalist and Nature First Ambassador. So we're going to say Master, and there it is, Certified Texas Master Naturalist and Nature First Ambassador. Excellent. Jennifer's passion for conservation and her artistic talents make her an ideal candidate for the ELP. For the Emerging League program. Continue passion for... Okay, let's swap it. Jennifer's artistic talent and dedication to conservation make her an ideal candidate for the Emerging League program. Her accomplishments as a photographer are impressive. Instead of she is, I'll say she's. She's an icon professional, and her fine art images have been displayed in art festivals, galleries, and museums throughout the U.S. Her images have been published in National Geographic Online and Wild Planet Photo magazine, so we're going to check that. Images published in Nat Geo Online and Wild Planet Photo magazine. And then we're going to triple check it by coming over here, coming to CV, and we're going to go National Geographic. Where we at? Oh, there it is. Images published in Nat Geo Online. There it is. That O is capitalized. That was correct. So it gets the minor details like that too. Okay, Wild Planet Photo. There it is. Jennifer is also an accomplished public speaker and has presented at events organized by Professional Photographers America and NANPA. Yep, that's correct. There it is. 2022 keynote speaker for the Winter Wings Festival. She was also the 2022 keynote speaker for the Winter Wings Festival and has received numerous awards, including the NANPA Mission Award 2023, Permission worker. Yep. Okay. And NAMPA 2020 Showcase Judges Choice Conservation category. Nice. Excellent. She's also an active member of the Conservation Photography community, chair of the ethics committee for NAMPA. See, this is North American Nature Photography Association. It's not a big deal, but this is why you do want to fact check what you're writing or what your program writes. Okay, so Jennifer is also an active member of the Conservation Photography community. She's the chair of the ethics committee for NAMPA. So let's just double check that. I'm just going to search chair. Is the things that pulled. There we go. Chair of ethics committee. Excellent. And she runs an online workshop community. So I'll type in online workshop. Yep. And is passionate about sharing the natural world with others. Let's double check that online workshop community. It should be on this page. Yeah. See, helps run that. Yep. Girls here quick. Workshop leader. Yeah. And she partners in conservation-based nonprofit through her company Experience Wallet. Okay. Jennifer is a professional photographer who's actively participating in conservation projects and continues to be published. She published and for her conservation work. She's provided portfolio and references. Okay, that's important. Yeah, she understands the mission. She's demonstrated. We'll cut that out. She's demonstrated. Okay, yeah, that doesn't matter. That's kind of like back of the yeah. Anyway, that doesn't need it either. Okay, so that was kind of like from the application more so, like very technical bit. So that whole chunk wasn't needed. Everything else flows. Let's just talk where we were and where we're going. Jennifer is also an active member of the conservation photography community. She's the chair of the ethics committee. Before I go any further, I'm just going to turn on save because we've done all this work and haven't saved it. So, right home. There we go. Okay. Her talent and promise in conservation photography make Jennifer an excellent fit for the ELP, the Emerging League Program, and our fellowship. As a member of the ELP, she benefits also of access. Okay, great. Looking good. I'm going to hit save and that's pretty close. So where would I go from here? We have a one-page letter of recommendation for my friend Jennifer, who is applying for the International League of Conservation Photographers. We've used the ZimmWriter Scrape Owl feature to scrape her about page. Got all these juicy details on where she's been, what she's done. Even though I know all these things about her, it helps me consolidate and make it great. And now I can polish and publish in Microsoft Word or Notion or Notepad++ or wherever you work best. What would I do next? If it were me, I would do a Control-All. I would get it into Grammarly, clean it up, and make sure, see, just inconsistent punctuation, little stuff like that. Specialize in wildlife, throw these in. Her photographs have been published, the ethics committee, and she's a repeated word, but I can't really do anything about that. We're going to change the name to Matthew, and then we're going to add in associate fellow ILCP, because that's what I am, and we'll call it there. So now we'll copy paste into here and save the updates. Looking pretty good here, actually. I might just steep on it at this point. This is a good stopping point. So I hope this has been useful. I've been trying to put together some thoughts in a way that's helpful, and let me know if this was. So subscribe and like and all that stuff if you want more like this, and if you want a specific thing covered. I use this software all the time and I just don't share enough of how I'm using it. So I'd love to share how I'm doing what I'm doing. Just let me know what's on your mind. All right, talk to you soon.